Hello and welcome back. In the third part, we will do a little bit more to this um, basic room we created earlier. Let's go back to texture only. Okay, so design fashion for this web. As you can see, with the selected textures, they kinda like not. They don't overlap is the wrong word. They are misaligned in terms of the actual, the textures connecting to each other, which doesn't look very good at all. What we can do is like move them around or rotate them. So in this case, one second. So okay, just select the floor, for example, the geometry where you want to transform the texture. And then on the left side, there is two icons with a like a black T, and then either four arrows pointing in each direction, like a controller, like analog D-pads, and four arrows in a circle. The first one is like rotating the texture on both axes. Moving them around on both axes, and the second one is like rotating the texture. So if we select the moving on each axis the texture, you can now by holding Control and then left mouse button, you can move the texture around in the one on the one axis. And if you hold Control and the right mouse button, you can move it around in the other direction. And that way we can probably line it up so it looks good. So much better. Wait, this doesn't line up. But you get the general idea that it's better looking. This one. And the rest. Okay, now they all properly line up. And again, this could be done for every other um, geometry. I could do it as well for this kind of wall, but too lazy now. The second one is rotating the texture. This can be useful if you have like a sideways BSP or rotated BSP, but you want the texture to align with the other ones, which to the other BSPs, which are not rotated. Again, holding Control and then left mouse button, you can rotate the texture. In this case, whether it's left or right mouse button doesn't matter, since there's like only one angle to rotate. And again, if you want to leave the mode, hit the camera icon on the left to go back to the default control. Okay, so the next thing is some useful static mesh transformations. I chose a little barrier or cover point or cover static mesh or whatever you want to call it. I just add it again, right click, add static mesh, and just move it around a little bit. Double click on it to open the properties window. One useful feature is in the display tab, the draw scale. As the name implies, you can change the size of the static mesh to makes it double in the size, 3 even bigger. You can also go lower, 0.5. It's only half the size. And the benefit or the benefit of doing it is that the collision of the static mesh scales with the draw scale, so you don't have to adjust the collision. It all happens with the draw scale. There's also draw scale 3D, which we can expand by clicking on the plus, and then you can change the scale in each axis. For example, on the x-axis. Okay, no. Go back, the y-axis, and then this is like an easy way to adjust and fit the static mesh to your map. Kind of looks silly though. Looks better. Okay. Rotate it. Yeah. This is like simple geometry transformation. What you can also do is, going back to DrawScape 3D, if you want to flip the static mesh on a third axis, you can just enter -1 and we'll flip it around. This is like very useful if you got a object which is only modeled on one side and you want to mirror it or whatever. So let's just move it here. Okay, the next thing is simple particle effects. So open up the content browser, going to the particles tab. What I like to use is something which constantly plays the effects, because for most part, for example, this not decal, but the impact of the blaster hitting the surface. This is like a sort of like one-time particle, which you can place it in your map, but once you load it up, the particle effect will play and then it's gone. This is usually more used in certain scripted actions, or when the projectile hits the surface. So what you want to look for is particles which remain last forever. For example, the fire, large, the medium, no fire, small. In this case, for example, I just select the fire medium underscore no fire, and again just right click on the surface, and then above the static mesh we'll see add fire medium no fire here. This is the particle effect sprite. This is essentially where the particle effect originates from. We just move it where we want the fire to be. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's possible. If you want to see the effect in the editor, I guess would have to reopen the map. Wait, save, open. Nope. Okay. Anyway, so other stuff you can place. If we go back to our content browser and the actor classes tab, what I usually like to do to get like some sort of sense of scale for the 3D environment, I expand the actor, go to pawn, CT pawn, then for example select droid, select the battle droid, right click on here and add battle droid here. This way, like I like to usually place those around my map to get some sort of sense of scale to whether the room or the hallway or whatever is too big or too small, and that way you can get a good indication on the sense of scale. This is also like a cheap way of adding pawns to your map. You can see all those droids and Geonosians and Trendos. This is like the easiest way to add pawns to your map, although there are much better and more efficient ways, which will be covered in the future. Another thing which is sort of essential is the weapons. If you go one down, like below the pawn, you will have pickup. Go to CT pickup, and then you will have all the weapon pickups. For example, if I want to add a sniper, for example, I select it, right click, add DC-17 sniper, and again I can move it around, rotate it. If I want to realistically lay it on the floor, just rotate it sideways, move it a little bit down, and then here, oops, and the player can pick it up. You can do that with any other weapon listed here below. There's also ammo, which is like the ammo boxes, The last thing is an easy way to do lighting everywhere in your map, like no matter the size of the rooms. This can be useful like if you're on the other stages and you don't really care about lighting for now and you just want to get the general concept of your map. Go to info and select the zone info. Right click, add zone info. Zone info covers a lot of things. For now, we'll just do the zone light. Zone light like handles the lighting for all zones. In this case, since we don't have any zones, it will handle the lighting for the whole map. Zones will be covered in the future. And again, on the zone light category, you can change the brightness to a moderate value like 80 or whatever, and this way you don't have to place the lights everywhere on your map. The zone info will just illuminate everything, and yeah. So just build the map, save it, open up Star Wars. Open third one. No hardwire. So. Again, my battle droid dead. And here's the sniper. And I guess it's not really like clear, but the zone info already illuminates all the spots with a certain brightness. And down below it's like a little bit brighter because of the additional light we placed. And here's the particle, the small or medium fire, whatever. Yeah, that's it. Alright, see you in the next video.